Hi there, and welcome to the Working Crass podcast. That's Lauren,
Hello.
and I'm Joshua. Hi there, and we're here to do another episode of our favorite podcast, the only podcast that we do in this home on this couch. There's not a we would never cheat on our listeners doing another podcast, would you?
No.
Would you ever imagine like starting another podcast, cheating on the Crass wipes?
Oh, I can't imagine that. Like, that's so out of my character that I can't imagine it. Although it's making it sound like that I'm being sarcastic.
No, I couldn't imagine that. I never would do that. I would never think of that. If you'll excuse me, I have to go delete a lot of episodes of another podcast.
I mean,
No, I would never do that.
be right back.
Nope, no other podcast from the two of us, although we are guests on things occasionally.
Occasionally.
We'll be a guest on a podcast.
Occasionally.
And then we're not invited back because we just derail.
Yeah.
We do nothing but derail.
Yeah.
And, I mean, a lot of podcasts don't let you use the N-word as much as we like,
I know.
unfortunately.
I know.
Just kidding. I shouldn't have to say just kidding. It feels like that's an obvious thing. It's like, no, we don't really mean that. But somebody could be like, you like to say the N-word on other podcasts. What the hell? What kind of people are you?
Bad people.
That's the hard thing about doing a sarcastic podcast and just having a naturally sarcastic sense of humor. Is like I say things I don't mean all the time.
Yeah, me too.
That's like the pretty much everything that comes out of my mouth is something I don't mean.
Yeah, that's pretty much all of our conversations with each other.
Exactly.
Our marriage was built on a solid foundation of sarcasm.
Lies.
Yeah.
Just pure lies. Our marriage is based on just nothing but lies.
When we said I do, it was like, I do? It just had that inflection at the end where you're like, do you?
The rabbi did say, like, do you swear to say the N-word and nothing but the N-word till death do you part? And then I have to clarify, no, he didn't really say that. We're being sarcastic. We don't ever use that word. We just have a lot of friends that do all the time, and we never call them out on it.
Yeah.
That's not true either.
No.
We're being sarcastic.
Say something true, Joshua.
Um,
What's something true about us?
Here's something true. I fight injustices every single day. It's my job. I go out on the streets and I identify injustices and I fight them. That's true. We could joke around about the N-word all we want, but the amount of people I've given a black eye to for using the N-word,
You've given a black guy?
I
You've given people a
I
black guy?
hear a white guy out there. He uses the N-word. I go, this black guy is yours now, and he's gonna follow you around and make sure you don't say that word anymore.
You have to feed him, take him out.
Oh my God! And if you use this word again around him, he's gonna kick your ass.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna follow you around for a while and make sure that you don't spread any more injustices anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth. That's the only true thing I've ever said on this podcast.
Yeah.
Is that I fight injustice every single day. That's my job title.
Injustice fighter?
Injustice fighter. And they give me brass knuckles.
Wow.
Let's say. I don't know, what would they say? What would injustice fighter brass knuckles say?
They would say
BLM AOC. Boom, boom. Just saying.
Yeah.
So if you want to do injustices around me or any of my friends,
You better watch out.
you better watch out. You better bring a helmet.
Yeah.
You better bring armor because
Yeah.
I'm coming at you
You better.
with BLM and AOC, my brass knuckles.
Yeah.
I will fight injustice. I don't care. I don't care if it's snowing, if it's raining. I'll do it in the sleet, in the snow. I'm like a UPS worker, but for injustices.
Oh.
I'll fight in the rain, the sleet, the snow. The heat.
You deliver justice.
I deliver justice door to door. I ring the doorbell.
I ask you to sign for your package of justice.
I make sure your justice shows up at your doorstep unharmed.
Yeah.
Anyone order justice? Because it's here. Well, I thought that we would get the podcast started off on a really positive note. So I'm really excited to read this first story. Very positive, very hopeful for the future.
Yeah.
Podcaster and husband fatally shot after stalker breaks into their home. This could be us, Lauren. This could be us, but we ain't trying hard enough. This could be us, but we're not good enough podcasters yet. We don't have enough stalkers trying to break in and shoot us. Once that happens, then maybe we'll start a Patreon.
Oh. Yeah.
You could be on the active shooter level, or you could pay a little more to be on the Unabomber level.
Domestic terrorist level.
If you want to give us money, you're going to have to come try to attack us first. But that would be nice to be that big, you know?
Yeah.
So many listeners, you got a stalker.
Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice.
Do you worry about this? Us getting a stalker? You are a woman.
I thought you were asking, do I worry about us not getting
Do
more followers?
you ever worry about us never getting attacked? Do you ever worry that maybe we'll never get shot in our home?
That we'll never be good enough to get shot in our own home? I do sit there at night thinking about that.
I am kind of scared that we may never get shot in our own home.
I'm like, am I really funny if nobody has tried to kill me yet? If
Why are we even doing the podcast if no one's coming after us with guns?
If nobody is actively plotting a murder against me, am I really doing comedy?
Now, I don't know if the podcaster was doing comedy in this situation. Maybe they were. I mean, most likely, if a stalker is going to come find you and shoot you, probably comedy. What other podcast? It's not going to be like a film review podcast. You're like, you gave my favorite movie a 4 out of 5 stars. I'm going to shoot you. It's always going to be a comedy podcast.
Yeah. Or this
You
is
made fun of cancer. I have cancer. Shoot, shoot, bang, bang. You're dead.
Yep.
That's what it would be. Well, or the podcast, or she's like a podcaster, which means she's a content creator, which means she has a stalker because she does OnlyFans. Or talks about like her sex life on the podcast or something.
Well, it's the husband.
No. Podcaster and her husband were fatally shot in this situation.
I thought it was like describing the type of husband. It was like a podcaster husband.
Then where does the wife come in this situation? No, podcaster and her husband were fatally shot. A female was the podcaster.
I thought it was a podcaster husband was fatally shot, and the wife is now wondering, how will I continue the podcast without him?
I might have to get a new husband who's not a podcast husband. He might be like a construction husband or a lawyer husband. Why would you call somebody a podcaster husband?
Come to think of
Podcaster husband.
Might be better than. I just thought they were describing accurately what kind of husband he was.
Are you married? Yeah, I have a bartender husband. Yeah, I got a trash man husband.
All great husbands.
I'm proud of my husband. I got a trash man husband.
Great husband.
All right, let's see what this story is. Let me put my headset on. All right, here we go.
3 people now dead, a husband and wife, and the man who pulled the trigger. Redmond police say the wife ran a podcast, and that's how her alleged stalker knew her.
We may never know why somebody would do this.
On a quiet residential street.
We never know why someone would do this.
Did they pick like the one neighbor who could care less, give a shit about these people?
They're like, can you just read this card?
Read this cue card.
Okay. You never know when.
In Redmond, gunfire erupts overnight. 3 people now dead after a potential stalker breaks into this home.
They said that he was stalking her, so certainly been a history.
Redmond police say the shooter is a 38-year-old truck driver from Texas. He had a no-contact order.
So a truck driver, he's going to have a lot of time to listen to podcasts. That's why. That's why he gets really into it.
Oh yeah.
He gets to know this woman because he listens day after day, and then he stops at a truck stop and he jerks his wiener in a truck stop shower.
Yeah.
You know, truck stop showers, that's weird to me. When we go to like a truck stop or like any kind of stop and they have like open showers for the truckers.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I think sexy.
You want to go do it in one of those? You
Yeah.
want to be one of those couples that goes, "Hey, get us a shower." They're like, 2 showers? Nah, just one for the 2 of us.
I go rub
They're
a
like,
dub.
let us clean all the jizz out of it.
I go rub a dub dub. Time for my scrub.
Oh my God. You know, at my college, they had to send out a thing to all of the, because we had the community bathrooms and the community showers,
Mhm.
and they sent out this paper that they put on everyone's door
Mhm.
that the drains kept getting clogged up with cum.
Oh my.
And then like you and like with a long explanation of how like cum coagulates and like how it stops up the drains
And how it
and how
comes-
it's difficult to like fix and for the plumbers to fix and how it's expensive.
and
So
how
please.
it comes out of your body.
They're like, all right. So for those of you that don't know, you're gonna stroke your wiener. Anyway, so it was like, can you please refrain from ejaculating into the drains? Oh man,
I feel like that's got to be pretty common in like
college dorms
yeah,
and stuff. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
It has to
definitely,
be.
definitely.
It has to be.
Ugh, gross. I showered in those. And to be fair, I mean, I should have known because it was like ankle deep in cum.
When you turn on the shower, that instead of water, it was just cum.
It's just cum coming out of it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the shampoo comes out of the spigot. Oh, wait, that's not shampoo. I should have known when I stepped in the shower and it went.
Like after my shower, I'm always sticky.
It's weird. I get in the shower because I'm sticky. I clean off. I get out of the shower. I'm still sticky. What's going on? I'm sticky, so I clean off, and then I get out of the shower, and I'm still sticky.
Oh man, the septic tank at that school is probably just tons and tons of jisms. Your school is floating on top of a pool of jisms.
Just little sperms that are like, where is the womb? Millions of them.
God.
Oh, man.
Just a sea of spooge.
A septic tank baby is being born.
Mm-hmm.
The septic tank gets impregnated, has a baby.
Mm-hmm.
A little poo-poo baby. Oh, it's a poo-poo baby. A sweet septic tank had a poo-poo baby. We had to go out this weekend. We went out of town. One of our favorite septic tanks had a little poo-poo baby. All right, let's keep going here.
Filed against him from the woman living here.
This is just a tragic situation that we don't often see that in Redmond.
Her mom was the one who called 911. She managed to escape and run for help.
He had an altercation with the mother. Sounds like he shoved her, and then she was able to escape to the neighbors.
Her 35-year-old husband, shot in the chest, found dead on the front lawn.
And this is just a really
Just a
unfortunate.
pause. I just wanted to start the episode with a very positive story. And, you know, I just wish we had a good enough podcast for me to be dead out in the front lawn. Shot dead in the front lawn. Ugh.
You know, it would be ironic if she was one of those like true crime podcasters.
Oh, yeah. And she was like starting to reveal things about him. She's like, I've actually got some leads. This truck driver guy.
Yeah, he's a truck driver who's just been like murdering, what do you call it? Hitchhikers?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just been picking up hitchhikers all across the country.
He
And
murders podcasters.
yeah, murders podcasters all across the countries and dumps their bodies along like the highways, the side of the roads.
All the comments are like, good, one less podcast. There's already enough podcasts.
I guess we'll just give anyone a podcast these days.
Wow, I guess just anyone will have a podcast nowadays.
Huh.
Even dead bodies.
Even
huh?
dead bodies.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I guess they'll just shoot any podcaster nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be you have to achieve something as a podcaster.
Used to have talent to be murdered if you were a podcaster. Now,
Used to have to do something interesting to get shot in the front lawn of your home.
now you can just blabber on into a mic about nothing.
Oh,
And a truck driver will show up at your house and kill you.
wow. They just give anyone a podcast. You know, them, the people that give people podcasts.
Yeah, them.
They just give everyone a podcast.
You know, the podcast committee. They vote on
The
who's
grand poobah of podcasts.
Gonna, yeah.
He's just like, here's your podcast. Move along, please. Next. Here's your podcast. A little boy is like, more. Can I have some more, please? More? Okay. Here's your podcast. Move along. Yeah, you could have more. Here's your podcast. Keep going.
Bring your paperwork to the front.
Give us 5 racial slurs. All right, you're good.
Get it stamped at the next window. Yeah. I like how people always are like, don't give anyone a podcast, as if
Yeah.
you don't just start it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Exactly.
99% of them are just self-starters.
Yeah.
Like, we just wanted to do something for fun.
All right, so you want to have a podcast. What do you think about Hillary Clinton's emails? All right, you're in. Here's your podcast. Move along to the next window, please. You get a podcast at the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
Take your ticket. Move on down. If you're here for a podcast, wait in the other line. Please wait in the brown zone.
Please have a copy of your driver's license and your birth certificate available and ready at the window.
Oh, my
And we're
God.
gonna need 3 bills to show proof of residence.
All right, we need to see pictures of the studio you built for under $100. Just got to make sure you have a little studio there. That way you can do a podcast. Do you have bookshelves? Do you have bookshelves and knickknacks? All right, you have yourself a podcast. Move along, sir. Please move along, sir. We got a lot of podcasts to get through today. We got a lot of podcasts to give away today. Anyway.
Sir, you're gonna have to wear corrective lenses while podcasting.
Anyway, I obviously feel bad about the podcaster and husband that were killed.
I do too.
I don't think that should happen to people who are
No, it's
just
terrible.
doing a podcast. And people take things too seriously. People take words way too seriously, and we should just chill out because we've all said things we don't mean. Us included. I literally say what I don't mean all the time. I never say what I mean, except for that I am a fighter for justice.
Yeah. I will say though, watching that video, I am convinced that the neighbor friend that they got in this report,
Was in on it?
I think she was reading cue cards. I think you are right in that this lady was just handed a piece of paper.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
It was like, go. She had no inflection. Also, it was like they gave her
can't-
Botox right before
Oh, yeah.
because her eyebrows didn't move.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering, like, maybe.
It's like, I can't believe something like this would happen in my town.
No, that's too much movement for Botox.
Yeah, you're right.
You have to just be like, you can't move your mouth
Can't believe.
and your eyes.
I can't believe something like that would happen.
I was
in
just
my town.
I was just out getting Botox when all of a sudden a truck driver showed up and killed the neighbor. It sucks.
It sucks. It sucks.
I know I can't show emotion for the next
When
36 hours, but I'm
my-
sad.
I'm sad. It sucks when my neighbors are killed. It sucks. My neighbor was murdered. It sucked. Anyway, that's very sad.
It is sad.
Our love goes out to their family.
Yeah.
And I hope that their family members start a new podcast in their place. Just go on down to the DMV. They'll get you a new podcast. Or just pick up and start off in the next one. Now, if they had been shot in the podcast studio, that would be more interesting. Front lawn, shot like a dog on the front lawn. That's awful. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Shoot them in the podcast studio so they could have some dignity.
Give those people a podcast to remember.
If I'm going to be shot over my podcast, I want to die against a bookshelf with knickknacks on it. I want to die leaned against a neon sign and some curtains.
I want to have just done a setup for a joke, and then everybody's waiting for the punchline.
Bullet just through the head.
Yep.
Oh, God. Anyway, this one was a little dark to start on, so let's move to something that I'm very excited about. I've never been more excited to read a story than I am today from BBC News. Berlin to allow women to go topless in public swimming pools. We did it, boys. We did it. This is what I was talking about when I said I fight for justice every single day. I've been fighting for the women in Berlin to swim topless.
To dive into that pool and let them boobies free.
Good news, everyone. Good news, Crass Wipes. Working Crass is going to Berlin.
We did it.
We're moving to Berlin.
We did it.
We did it. Oh, my God. The future is here.
Now I can be murdered and die happy.
I could die happy. Oh, man. Women will soon be allowed to swim topless in Berlin's public pools after a ruling by the city's authorities. It comes after a woman who was thrown out of an open-air pool for sunbathing topless took legal action. A second woman said she was told to cover up while at an indoor pool in December. Authorities agreed that they had been victims of discrimination and said that all visitors to Berlin's pools were now entitled to go topless. That's exciting. That's great. Now, it's not great for the women who are going to go topless that, probably shouldn't, but it's great for all of the women who are going to go topless that I'm excited to see.
Oh, it's definitely not going to be the ones you'd be excited to see.
Oh, yeah. No. It's going to be Bertha.
Yeah.
Or whatever Berlin's Bertha is.
It's going to be
Berlin Bertha.
When I was I don't remember how old we were, but I feel like maybe middle school, but my family took a trip. We were down in Dominican Republic, and we didn't realize that the beach we went to was a topless beach, but it was like all old people.
That's what I like. That's what I like to see. That's where I want to go.
And I remember there was this, I don't know if she was German, but there was a lady named Gita who we ended up meeting back at our hotel, who we recognized from the topless beach.
Oh, so you saw her tatas.
We saw Gita's titas.
Oh, boy. Damn. You see any of her holes?
No, but we did see
Damn.
we did see some nuts.
Boring story.
We saw some nuts.
Oh. Well, that's pretty cool.
We saw a man with a Speedo who had his nuts hanging out the side, just getting a little sun. I mean,
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
they were all old people.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
there were no, I would say, nobody under the age of 60
Yeah,
out on that beach.
yeah.
So, I don't know. That's my experience with topless beaches.
Well, it's, once you get to that age, you've been wearing clothes for so many years, you're like,
Yeah.
I want to take them off, damn it.
Yeah, sun's
I
out,
want
buns
to
out.
get some sun in my holes,
Yeah,
in my cracks.
yeah.
Don't you want to get if you're listening out there, you've never got a little sun in your crack? What are you doing? What are you wasting your time doing?
Stop listening to this podcast and
Go
go
get some sun in
outside
your
and
crack.
get some sun up your booty hole.
That's what the world needs. What the world needs now is sun in your butt. Spread those cheeks apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's absolutely that might have saved that podcaster's and her husband's life.
If they had just gotten a little sun in their butts.
No, if the
Unfortunately, they had guns in their butts.
if they had gotten sun in their butts and the truck driver,
Yeah.
he just
Oh,
got
yeah.
some sun in his butt.
If he had some sun in his butt. Yeah.
It might have made him a little less likely to murder.
That's true. That's true. Just relax him just enough to go, you know what? I don't need to kill that podcaster.
Yeah.
I could just get a little sun in my butt.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Foreign visitors to Germany are often surprised and sometimes downright disconcerted by the sight of naked Germans frolicking in its lakes, snoring in its parks, or sweating in its saunas. Wow, there's naked people in Germany all the time? This is a country which considers public nudity in some settings to be both appropriate and healthy. God, we're moving to Germany. Have they fixed all their problems with Jews? Can we go there now? I feel like they'd be like over kind to Jews. Like, oh, you're Jewish. Oh, please let me help you. You know, like, we love Jews over here. No problems with Jews over here.
I assume there's definitely a lot of overcorrection.
It's kind of like white guilty Americans with black people as well. When they're just like, oh, yes, my family never owned slaves. I promise.
Yeah, but I feel like for Jews, they're like, but it kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth to be here. It's like, I don't know.
Oh, I see. Like for you.
Yeah.
But they're nice people, but you just don't want anything to do with them.
It's like if I went to like a really fancy restaurant once and got like found a hair in my food, and then we went back there, I'd be like, all I can really think about is the hair.
All you can really think about is the 6 million Jews they killed.
Yeah.
That's the hair in your soup. That damn hair in my soup is all the 6 million Jews they exterminated off the face of the earth.
It's called A Hair in My Soup, a tale about the Holocaust. It's my memoir.
I guess this now the Berliner Baderbetrieb. The Berliner Baderbetrieb. Am I saying that right?
Don't ask me. I don't speak German.
That's the swimming pool operator. The Berliner Masturbatorbetrieb has actually changed its rules, which insist that a bathing costume covers the genitals. The BBB merely clarified that this applies to every visitor, irrespective of their gender.
You know what will happen? We're going to get a bunch of people in the comments being like, how dare you not know how to pronounce German words correctly?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
Don't you even speak German? Don't you know? I can't do German.
It's a little...
Why?
Why
would you do this, Working Crass? Working Crass podcast is 9. It's 9. Working Crass podcast is shite.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, it doesn't matter because we're moving to Germany.
Yeah.
We're going to Berlin. We're going to look at these titties every single day. We're going to wake up in the morning, go to the beach, go to the public swimming pools, get a look at those titties,
Don't you think?
record a podcast, go back home.
But then after a while, doesn't it get like, too much of a good thing? And it just doesn't become exciting anymore, and you're kind of like, I'm over it.
Such a woman thing to say. Such a dumb woman thing to say. Don't boobies just get tiring after a while? No. You want to see every boobie. Until you've seen every boobie in the world, then what's... You got to see every one of them.
I don't
Gotta
know.
catch 'em all. That's it. Boobies are Pokemon for boys, for men. Not just boys. Boys and men.
Boys to men.
Boys to men. Every boy had to sit down with his father, and his father said, "Son, let me tell you, you got to see every titty." I've had a dream ever since I was a boy to see every titty, and you're gonna dream of seeing every titty too.
What about boys who like other boys?
Even, you know what? I would venture to say that even gay boys, if you ask them, you want to see some weird titties? They go, yeah, absolutely. I think every dude wants to see a pair of weird titties. Not in a sexual way. It's just like a curiosity way. Don't you want to see every titty?
I see what you're saying.
Don't you want to see every tit? It's like I want to visit every country. I want to see every tit. There's a variety of tits.
I've never pondered whether or not I want to see every kind of boobie.
A boobie is like a thumbprint. It's unique for everybody. You know, some people have big nipples, some people have small nipples, some people have long nipples, some people have short nipples, some people have big boobies that are saggy, some people have tiny boobies that are flat, some people have like pancakey boobies that are just kind of like, you know, you could hold a pencil underneath them. Some people, they're like just like it cause back problems, they're so big. Some people have fake boobies, some people have real boobies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, there's just such a variety that it's like you want to see every boob.
You
You
are-
gotta see every boob.
The way you listed all the different types of boobs, it was kind of like you're the Dr. Seuss of boobies.
There's red boob, gray boob, blue boob, black boob. You want to see every boob. You want to see every boob. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, the way you've described it, I'm starting to see your side of things.
it's just like, wouldn't you want to, think about the wonders of the world, or what do they say? What are they called? The great, like
The
The
Seven Wonders of the World.
seven wonders of the world. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. I
Like
said it right.
The Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
Yeah.
The Hanging Gardens of Boobalon.
Boogalon. Exactly. Don't you? Those are like, the 8 billion boobies of the world. I gotta see the 8 billion boobies of the world. Actually, there would be 16 billion, because every boobie has a twin boobie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's 16 billion boobies in the world,
Yeah.
and I've only seen like 20 of them.
That's nothing.
That's nothing.
That's nothing. That's
I've only seen 21 of them.
what happened to the 22nd?
Unfortunate accident. It was a podcaster. It was shot in the front yard.
Aw. That's so sad.
I'm so sad for that boobie.
That's so sad.
That's so sad.
That's so sad.
Well, we went through. We've done a lot of time already. I think we should do this
I think we
concerts one.
Yeah, I think we should keep going.
Well, with all of them, or go to the concert. I think we could spend a long time on this concerts
Yeah,
one.
let's talk about concerts.
Okay, and then maybe we'll save these others for another episode. Maybe we'll record 2 tonight. I don't know. But before we do, I do want to say thank you for listening to Working Crass Podcast. I do want to plug our Instagram at Working Crass Pod. We are also on YouTube and TikTok at Working Crass Pod. Go follow us, subscribe to us. We have clips. Please share those clips if you enjoy them.
Yeah.
Leave us nice comments to counteract all the mean ones that we get.
Yeah.
And
Put in the comments what your favorite type of boobie is.
I'm curious as to what your favorite type of boobie is. And Dawn of Comics, we can't wait to see what your favorite boobie is. And speaking of Dawn of Comics, we did recently do Dawn of Comics quiz night, and so that'll be up
Yeah.
on Thursday.
Yeah, if
It'll
you-
be live on YouTube. Check out our Instagram at Working Crass Pod. I'll share all this stuff there. That was a real blast. Thanks for having us.
Yes.
And
Yes. That was a ton
Dawn
of
of
fun.
Comics will be our guest in a future episode of Working Crass Podcast very soon. So we're excited to
Yeah.
have him.
If you want to see what Working Crass is like surrounded by a bunch of British people.
Yes. Yeah.
That's-
And, I liked it because I was really worried about doing this quiz show because I was, with a bunch of British people because I didn't want to be the stereotypical American that is like, and we weren't the only American person there. There was,
Yeah, there was another.
another American, another red-blooded American, but no, I didn't want to be the stereotypical stupid American that doesn't know the answer to anything. It's like, oh, dumb American, and but you turned out you were second place. You did really, really well.
Yeah.
I was pretty stupid still, but at least I was like, I'm married to a smarty. I'm married to a smart one right there.
I just know flags.
Yeah.
I just know the flags of different countries.
Yeah, I'm lucky that was part of the thing. But thanks for having us. It was a real blast, and we're excited to have you on the show as well. Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
So we've wanted to talk about concerts for a while because we go to concerts a lot.
We do.
We
do. We go to a
I
lot
mean,
of-
I don't mean to brag that we go to concerts a lot, but I like live
I
music.
do mean to brag.
We go to so many concerts. It's so great.
Yeah.
We go to so many more concerts than
Yeah, and that's why we have a podcast.
But no,
I'm just kidding.
I've always loved going to concerts. In college we used to. I mean, I was a music major in college, so obviously I love music. But
we go to a
used
lot of music shows. We go to a lot of comedy shows.
Yeah. for sure.
So we go see lots of live stuff.
That's for sure. But in college, we used to like anytime there was a band I like, we would drive like 4 hours, 5 hours just to like go and see a concert, and then drive back in the middle of the night,
Yeah,
tired and exhausted as hell.
you and I, when we were kind of first starting dating each other, you and I took some road trips down to Austin for concerts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah. We drove from Dallas to Austin.
Yep. Damn, dag nabbit, we sure did.
We did.
Anyway, these are this is from Huffington Post. The rudest things you can do at a concert. Etiquette experts share faux pas to avoid while at a live music performance. So let's figure out about what these are here. Pandemic life gave many of us a newfound appreciation for everyday pleasures like hosting friends, dining out, or attending a concert. On the latter front, artists are touring again, and fans are flocking to a range of venues to enjoy live performances. Although we all might be a little rusty on the social norms front, that doesn't give people free rein to behave however they like at concerts. Absolutely. So there's a lot of shit that annoys the hell out of me at concerts. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll bring it up in this list. So if they don't, I'll throw in some of my things here. But let's get started here. Getting too drunk. Absolutely.
Yes.
Concerts are a
Agree.
great place to enjoy a few drinks and let loose, but there's a fine line between having a good time and being a drunken mess who bumps into people and spills everyone. Well, that doesn't make sense. Spills everyone? You can't spill everyone. You're not holding everyone. It may be easy to overindulge in alcohol at a concert, said Diane Gottsman, the author of Modern Etiquette for a Better Life. She says, getting drunk, starting fights, heckling, and losing all inhibitions is never a good concert move. Same with stand-up shows, when you go to a stand-up show. But concert, too. If you go to any kind of artistic thing where people are on a stage and people paid money to go see that person
Yeah.
on stage,
Mhm.
like, no one wants to hear what you have to say.
Mm-mm.
Hands down.
Mm-mm.
Hands down. If you're the audience and not the performer,
Yep.
and people paid for a ticket, regardless of what the art form is, no one gives a shit what you have to say.
Yep.
And people are pissed if you try to let them know what you have to say. One of my least favorite things is like when somebody will like try to talk to the artist like they're their friend on stage while they're doing a show.
Yep.
Like, me too, Randy. And then like the comedian or like the performer has to be like, okay, thank you. I just don't understand. And then, you know, we had we just went to a comedy show, and a comedian was talking about Cheez-Its. It came up and like, oh, my car is a mess, and I have Cheez-Its on the floor. This lady behind us who's drunk just starts talking to her friends out loud, just goes, oh, I love Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its are great. I just was at the store yesterday and thought about buying a box of Cheez-Its, but I didn't. So it's like, you're at a show. Like, he's talking. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And everyone around her is like just kind of like giggling that nobody wants to tell that person because then they're going to start a fuss.
Yeah. Nobody. It's like you don't want to get in an altercation with clearly an insane woman.
And I hate to make this all. I hate to make this all about comedy shows because we go to a lot of those more often than we go to music concerts, but we go to a lot of concerts too. But it just seems to happen a lot at comedy shows.
Mm-hmm.
Where like, oh man, another one I hate is like the comedian will have a punchline and then the people who are drunk and in the audience talking a lot will repeat the punchline. They go, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
You know, they just repeat whatever. I can't think of a good example.
They pull a Polly Walnuts.
Oh yeah. Did you hear what he said? He said this.
You hear what he said, Tone?
He said his balls are too big. It's like, yeah, I heard him. We all just laughed at that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess that moves into this next one, talking during the show. During a performance at the theater, opera, ballet, and similar settings, the only sounds should be coming from the stage. Absolutely. This means no talking while the singers, dancers, or actors are performing. And I don't understand this. People will do this during opening acts for bands and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
But like music, comedy, any of that stuff is like, why? This isn't like a social venue. This isn't where you go to like have a conversation with someone. Hey, let's go out to a comedy show so I can get to know you. It's like, no. You're going to the show to listen to somebody perform, especially the art of the spoken word.
Yeah.
Like, it's like they're the ones speaking. You're the
Yeah.
audience. You're there to listen.
But maybe it's some sort of.
I don't listen very well.
But maybe it's some sort of social experiment where they're on a date with somebody and they're trying to
Mhm.
see how their date reacts to them talking while the performer is going.
The only correct reaction would be to never date that person again. That would be the only correct. Wow, they are kind of going through everything I was going to say here. Doing your own performance whenever
Re-
it.
Really, the first three could just be one.
Oh yeah,
They're all
definitely.
pretty much the same.
Whenever attending a live performance, it's important to remember that this is not your living room. That's great. Absolutely. A co-host of the Were You Raised by Wolves podcast. I kind of want to check that podcast out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that podcaster was shot dead last week. How you can act can affect how you act can affect the people around you as well as the performers on stage. This means being mindful of not being distracting or otherwise affecting the enjoyment of other audience members. To that end, enjoy the performance, but don't try to put on one of your own that detracts from others' experiences. Refrain from scream singing unless everyone else is doing it. You may know the words to every song, but taking the stage in your own row is distracting.
Yeah.
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 No, for sure. If you're the only one that knows the song and you're like, tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. You have to be like, what the fuck, dude? Shut up. But if everyone's singing along, I chimed in with a haven't you people never heard of closing the goddamn door, and everyone's doing it, then you could jump in and do it. But, I mean, if you're the only one, come on, people are trying to hear the song. Also, another thing, when someone does a slow song, when the ballad comes up and it's everybody gets quiet, it's time to listen, and someone's like, yeah, play it, Ella. Somebody's has to encourage them.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we encourage them by paying money for the tickets and showing up to listen. And at
Mhm.
the end of the song, you clap your hands, you can woo, you can holler. You can even go, hell yeah, that was awesome. After the song is
Mhm.
over, you can say whatever the hell you want,
Mhm.
shout whatever.
Mhm.
But during the song, very weird.
Yeah.
Interrupting people's, I don't know. It's very weird.
Yeah. I like to wear tap shoes and just do a little tap dance.
You go to a jazz show and you're like, these cats are real good, but you got to hear me blow. You haven't even heard me blow yet.
Hey, Daddy-O, you want to hear me blow? Hey, man, you haven't heard me blow. This cat's gonna blow your mind. Take a my licks.
Let's see here. Try to avoid texting during concerts, especially those in intimate settings. Those glowing screens are incredibly distracting, especially in a darkened theater. Look, at a music concert, at this point, it's over. Everyone has them. I like that comedy places are kind of locking them up in yonder pouches and stuff. That doesn't bother me too much.
Yeah, although I feel like that's kind of died down.
It has died down a lot.
I feel like a lot of them aren't really using that.
I
much
think they just need
anymore.
ushers who work at the theater to say, get off your phone.
Yeah.
That's just your job. This is a show that can't be recorded or whatever. It's a very different thing for a musician too, because you're recording a musician, the song's already on the radio, it's on Spotify, it's on everything. But a comedian is usually practicing what they're gonna put out in a special. By the time the special comes out, the tour is usually over.
Yeah.
And so but you don't want to record that stuff and put it out while they're still developing
Yeah,
it and
yeah.
everything. Whereas music is the song's out. They're just playing, their usual. I mean, sometimes they're trying out new things.
Yeah.
And you don't want to put that out to other people. But I don't know, it's a little different. But I mean, a concert now, it is all phones. It's
Yeah.
you watch most of it through somebody's phone in front of you.
I always find it weird, the person recording on the phone, but also screaming at the top of their lungs, the lyrics of the song. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
isn't your phone recording just going to be you?
Oh yeah, have you ever looked up a YouTube video of somebody at a concert and all you can hear is they're singing? Tonight will be the night that I will. That's my video.
Shut up.
Yeah. That video is uploaded by Joshua of Working Crass Podcast.
Yeah, go check it out. It's a really good one.
Secondhand Serenade concert. This was amazing. Oh no, is that a guy with a gun?
It's just me and my tap shoes and my saxophone in the back of the jazz concert with my phone up.
You got to hear me blow.
Hey, Daddy-O's, check out these cats blowing.
Blocking people's views. Try your best not to block the view of the person behind you. You may not have front row seats, but in a crowd, try not to wear an oversized hat or hold up miscellaneous posters or items that block the view of the people sitting behind you. Yeah, I always disliked that, but I'm also tall, and if I go to like see a band that I really want to see and I like show up early to be in the front row, then I'm in the front row. But to be fair, every time I've ever done that, I was like single, and I would turn around and find like the cutest short girl around and be like, "Do you want to switch places with me so you can see?"
Oh, that's smooth.
Oh yeah, that was I did that every single time I went to a concert.
That's smooth.
I'd always get right in the front and go like, "Oh, would you like to get in front?" And then she'd go,
Man,
"Oh yeah."
Where were you when I was going to concerts before we were dating?
I know. I was out there with them other short girls.
I know.
I was out there with all them other shorties. Oh man.
Yeah, I always like inevitably would get stuck behind like
The tall guy.
the tallest dude in the room, or it would be somebody with a backpack, and my
Oh,
face
God,
level is
yeah.
at backpack. You know, I'd be eye to eye with somebody's back like the pouch,
Yeah.
and then they start jumping, and I've got a backpack in my face bopping me. Like,
Now, do you ever, because you're short, are you ever like butt level with a farter at a concert?
I have smelled way too many farts at concerts where it's
Mhm.
been right
Oh,
in the face.
I feel bad for anybody like young or short at a concert. It's just
Farts
like butt level.
and armpit BO
Oh yeah.
at concerts.
Ugh.
Because I'm either butt level or pit level for
Yeah.
tall people.
Yeah. See, I'm usually like my elbows are boob level, and so they just my arms and elbows like end up grazing a bunch of titties,
Yeah.
and I'm like, can I see them? Because I'm
And
trying to
then-
see every titty.
Yeah.
I'm
Excuse me. I'm
I'm on a journey to see every titty.
I'm on a mission to see the 16 million wonders of the world.
Billion. 16 billion.
Billion.
Expecting people to cater to your seating preference. That I guess that's one. I do love when like here's a great well, people that just like see an open seat and then just go sit in it. I do consider that sometimes. Like when we're at we just went to Cory Wong and it was a great show, but there was a lot of like empty seats like in front of us.
Yeah.
And it was a supposedly sold out show, but I think general admission was sold out, but the balcony was not. And I mean, I thought about it, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure the usher has to like be like, "Hey, let me see your tickets." Like, are you really just gonna, you can't do that. The tickets in front of us were more expensive, but they were like not that much closer. So,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I kind of get that. I get people wanting to do it, but it's like it's stupid to like, I don't know, switch like what your seats are and expect. Not like people do it and then get mad at the person for asking about it,
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir, this isn't your seat. It's like, why does it matter? Like that kind of person's like, well, because you didn't buy tickets for that seat.
Yeah.
Like you bought tickets for a specific seat. Like you're not stupid. You don't have to
Yeah.
like, you don't have to make it an argument. You did the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Like if you get away with it, you get away with it, but you know what you're doing. You don't have to like argue about it. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Another one I really like, you're waiting outside. Long line for like a big concert. Everyone's like had to wait for like an event in a long line, and then you see like the spoiled white girls walking, and then they see how long the line is, and then they turn around. They're like, "No, we could just get in. Let's go to the front. We can get in." And then 10 minutes later, you see them walking again, pissed off because obviously they didn't just get in. Everyone waiting in line bought tickets. Like it's a sold out show. You're not just gonna get in. It happens all the time though. There's like it'll happen with dudes too. It's usually like real spoiled white, like jock looking idiots that look like they go clubbing all the time. They're like, we'll get in. I can get us in. We're hot. We'll get in. Because they're used to going to like a nightclub and they don't know. I think that's most of the people that are like talking real loud and drunk at a concert too. They think it's a nightclub. They go to nightclubs all the time.
You're right. I bet it's nightclub mentality.
You go out, you're meeting people, you're talking loudly, you're talking over the DJ's music and everything.
Right.
But you don't understand, like when people watch a live performance, they're there to listen.
To
they're not-
somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So,
Yeah.
but
I think
you
you're
know, they
right.
have that club mentality of like, we'll go to the front, they'll get us in. Yeah, we're not on the list, but here's a 50. You know, let us in or whatever. And they're like, no, you have to have a ticket. And then
Yeah.
they start walking pissed to the back of the line. Can't believe they didn't let us in. I'm hot enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
booing. Never boo, said etiquette expert Juliet Mitchell. Just leave and write a negative review if you must. Don't disrespect the work that goes into putting on a performance. Even if you did not particularly like the concert, you should applaud the performance. Applause is a way of showing appreciation for the actor's artistry and efforts. Sure, I agree. I mean, this is like heckling.
I think if you didn't like something, it's okay to just you don't have to applaud.
Yeah, no,
You're
I don't think you
allowed
have
to
to
like
apply.
just be quiet.
But what about booing or heckling?
I think booing and heckling, unless like the performer is kind of egging it on,
Yeah.
where like some shows that you go to are more interactive than others. And like when we used to do some comedy shows, there would be times where we would like encourage the audience to boo at a certain
Oh,
point.
yeah, no, I tell them, boo this man.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if somebody started heckling, we might think it's kind of funny and we'll play with it because we
Yes.
would just get in that mood of we just want to play and see what happens with this. It just really depends on the performer and the type of performance. Some things you might be able to get away with it, and some other types of shows you can't.
Yep. No, you're totally right.
And most of the time, if you don't like something, either just
You
get
just-
up and leave,
Yeah. Don't laugh. Don't applaud.
or just be quiet. And
Yeah.
then, the next day, ask for your money back from the
we sat
venue
through many shows we disliked.
Yeah.
Maybe not music. We usually know what we're getting into with music, but like a comedy show that maybe we were performing on or something.
Oh, yeah.
And then
we
like,
sat through a lot of clunkers.
and then but we don't sit there and boo or like, I mean, we might roll our eyes. We might like lean into each other and just like kind of like whisper like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
But I think that's appropriate. If you're with somebody and you're at a show and you see something you don't like and you lean over and whisper to the person you're with.
And it's very discreet.
Yeah, of course.
You're not actively disrupting the flow of the show and disrupting the people around you from enjoying it because, one person's yuck is another person's yum.
And what if we're wrong though? Because I could see somebody at like a drag show going like, "What the fuck is this?" And that would make me laugh.
Well, it would make us laugh.
It would make us laugh.
I don't know if it would make the performer laugh.
I just like the idea of a guy that like actually like doesn't know what a drag show. He's never been to one. He hasn't heard about one in the news. He doesn't watch the news. He doesn't keep up with things.
He's like, what is going on?
What's happening? What the fuck? You're not a lady. What the hell?
Where am I?
Where the fuck am I? Anyway, taking excessive photos and videos. No one wants their concert view blocked by a wall of outstretched arms holding phones. Although it's expected, you might film or photograph some moments. Don't try to document the entire show. I'd recommend people, if you're at a concert of like your favorite band or whatever, pick one song that you're gonna like record a part of or like take a picture of or something.
Yeah.
Like wait for that one song to show up and then you can pull it out and then like try to enjoy the rest of it and make a memory of it. When I was young and I started going to concerts, I would try to record the whole thing or like, try to take it out and like, oh, I got to remember every song. It's my favorite song. And then I'd get home and I mean, honestly, I'd realize I didn't remember the concert.
Well, you were like watching it through your phone.
I'm watching it through my phone.
Instead of through your eyes.
Exactly. And then I don't even go back and watch those videos that often. And when I do, I'm like, it's not like being there.
Yeah.
So I just started going and enjoying the event.
Yep.
And now, I mean, to be fair, now there's a lot of shows that we've been to that I have no pictures of or no like, but I have a better recollection of in my mind. I can usually really remember like a song or two that they played that I really liked, or a moment that I really liked, or if it's comedy, like a joke that I really liked.
Yep.
So
Or if there's a lady behind you talking loudly about Cheez-Its and how
I-
much she loves them and buys them regularly, you
That's
remember that really clear.
absolutely.
And you don't remember any of the punchlines because she talked over all of them.
That's very true as well.
So
Slamming into people. It's expected at rock concerts that people will be singing along for some, if not all, of the songs. Singing is often accompanied by some dancing. Feel free to join in, but know where your extremities are at all times. To avoid bumping into your fellow concertgoers, consider saving your most elaborate dance moves for times when you aren't embedded in tight crowds. Try your best to keep your hands and feet to yourself.
unless you're like at a punk or metal show and everybody is slam dancing, and
I hate that,
and
though.
you want to do that.
Yeah, I get that there's a thing for that. I think
I
think it should
that's-
be explicit for people that like
Well, you
it-
got to
you-
consent to it. If it's something that you want to do and you know what it is, why?
I worry about somebody who's like maybe not been in that environment a lot, that just goes and sees a band for the first time, that like they like them but they don't really know that like moshing is a thing at that concert. And there's not necessarily anything at a concert that says like moshing will happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been at a couple concerts that like I figured moshing would probably happen, and then it kind of starts. And when when I was younger, I'm totally fine. I can be thrashed around, and I feel okay.
Yeah.
As an older man, I get nauseous. I don't like it. I feel panicked. I want to get out, and I get out as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And for someone who's like young or maybe easily panicked, like I think some concerts can do a better job at like. I think there should just be a notice like, hey, this is a punk concert or a heavy rock or like, you know, a concert where moshing may take place.
I don't know. I feel like Darwinism is allowed to take place in certain situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah. You're right.
Like, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I think it is.
You're right. Those kids deserve to get smacked around, especially if they're podcasters.
Yeah. No, I think you're probably right about that. That something could be done to, let people who might be first-time concert goers.
Now, this says try your best to
No.
keep your hands and feet to yourself. But I would say if you're at a rave. Now, if you're at a rave and you're like doing Molly and stuff, then part of the thing is kind of like you're rubbing on people.
Yeah.
Part of the excitement and fun is like you're dancing, and sometimes, you get an occasional like this with a stranger,
Yeah.
and you just kind of feel like, I like being in a group of people rubbing.
I would say just again, read other people's nonverbal cues.
Yeah, definitely.
If you brush up or touch somebody and they really look offended by what you've just done,
Oh yeah, if they're like,
apologize
yeah.
and don't that's
yeah, definitely,
something you should then avoid.
definitely.
Or if they seem closed off to begin with, don't get close to them.
And don't be afraid to tell somebody to or to move away from somebody, or tell somebody, hey, they're being a little too aggressive dancing on you,
Yeah.
I've had situations where like a girl started like dancing on me that I was not interested. That I was like, I'm sorry, can you like not do that? Thank you.
I've done that, but they never hear me. So I'm like, excuse me.
Aw. Like, can you please stop raping me?
Please stop farting. It smells really bad. There's no air down here.
Is someone talking? Is someone out there talking?
I'm sorry.
Please stop farting. I
Please.
can't breathe.
I'm
I think I hear a
suffocating.
voice. I can't hear over my own farts.
Yeah, if you're farting louder than the performer, that's a problem. If I can't hear
Be very wary. Also, some songs have like short little like silences that you don't want to fart in. You never want to be at a concert. It's like shot through the heart, and you're too late, darling. You give love a bad name.
Yeah,
You don't want to throw that fart in there.
Shot through the fart.
Shot through the fart, and you're too late.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate. Wait till like the timpanis are going, and then you can let them rip. That's my advice.
Boom, 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 boom. disrupting your seat neighbors. Be on time, especially for formal concerts. Yeah, for formal concerts, especially if you're going to like see the symphony or whatever. Like, be on fucking time. When I say on time, I mean in your seat at least 10 minutes before the concert starts. It's disruptive when people come in late or leave their seats during a performance. Yeah, I mean, this happens a lot. A lot of people will show up during the opening act, which I get that. That's why they're the opening act. Like, even if it's like, if we're there to like, if you and I know who the opening act is going to be and we're like very excited to see them, we'll like show up, before the doors open and like, get in it on time and everything. But if we're just there, if like we're not really that interested, we'll try to show up like shortly after the doors open, but still before the show itself starts usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're walking in like while the show starts, you are distracting, but it's like in a city like where we live, I feel like it's easy to be running late, like things happen, so.
Yeah. And if you do run late, you just got to be discreet when you enter.
Yeah, definitely. You can't be the person coming in late and talking loud as fuck and drunk and then like and you smell bad and you're pushing people out of the way.
Yeah.
Did I skip showing up? Yeah, I did. Showing up smelly.
You definitely skipped showing up smelly.
That's an important one. Another way to show respect for others' personal space is to pay attention to your odor. Wear deodorant and don't show up to the show smelly. Take a shower. Even though you're going to be getting hot and sweaty, your neighbors will appreciate you arriving fresh. I've never been to a concert that I didn't shower and put on deodorant for before.
Yeah. I mean,
ever.
I've never left the house not having
You're right,
deodorized myself and made sure I was smelling okay.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand this. People that just go smelling like absolute BO shit.
And brush your teeth, people. Brush and floss. This isn't really about concert etiquette. This is just an in general life thing.
Hi there.
Yeah, bad breath is really...
Great show, huh?
Yeah. I mean, nothing wants to like drive you away from somebody worse than just that nasty, musty, dank air coming out their pie hole.
Gingivitis.
Yeah. You're just like, oh my God, I can't think about what you're saying because you're suffocating me.
Anyway, shoving your way out. Your respect for your fellow attendees doesn't end when the show does. Remain calm and resist the urge to shove people out of the way as the crowd makes its way to the exits. Everyone's going in the same direction. When the concert is over, be patient and don't push your way out. I honestly haven't seen this one too much. Everyone I've been to a concert with has been like very, I don't know, that one I don't see a lot. I'd be pretty pissed off if I saw someone do that. Like, get the fuck out of the way. I'm going home.
If you saw someone just go, it's over.
Get out of the way. Show's over. I'm going home. Show's over. I'm going home. No, I think, and something that they didn't put on here, but just like general concert things, for a stand-up show, they have loud music playing to get people excited, right? Then you have an opener who can get the crowd laughing and excited for the next act. Then sometimes you'll have a feature act, and they're going to get people even more excited. Usually there's somebody that's maybe a little more known, and then you get your headliner, right?
Yeah.
And your headliner is awesome, and they go back to back to back. So that energy that you create in the audience is like there's an inertia to it. There's like it kind of moves the thing forward. At a music concert, you get your opening band out there, right? There's some music playing. You get your opening band out there. They get the audience pumped, and they go, all right, opening the feature act or the headliner's coming out in 30 minutes. And everything breaks down, and the energy dies again until the next. For me, I don't even think it's worth it to have an opening band. They get the crowd pumped up, and then you got to wait another 30 minutes between the two acts while they set up for the next band.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's 2023 and we haven't figured out how to sound check it in a way that your opening band can play and then your next band comes out and plays.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it should be, in my opinion. I don't know. I've never understood like why it works that way. I mean, I do understand you have a limited amount of like levels on your soundboard and everything, and so you have to like set up for the opening band, and you have to switch some things over for the next band. You got to move instruments around. You got to like you have a different set design maybe even for your opening band.
Yeah.
But man, can't we set up a show where your opening band plays, that gets the crowd going, and off that inertia of that opening band, then you throw the headliner in, and the crowd goes wild.
Yeah. Well, maybe while the instrument techs and the set design people are taking that 30 minutes to change everything out and get it ready, a like crowd work comic comes out
There you go.
and keeps the crowd entertained.
That's what we need.
Or
That's
really
what we
pissed
need.
off.
Yeah, that might piss a lot of people off. Also, like a concert crowd is a little, a stand-up crowd. They're mostly sitting down. You got
Yeah.
them a lot sitting down, so they're listening to the person on the stage. We got people standing, ready to dance, and then you got to stand up there going like, "So are you two married?" It just doesn't work.
Okay.
Doesn't work.
How about I come out in my tap shoes? I got my saxophone.
How about we bring the 8 billion boobies of the world up on stage? We bring the 16 billion boobies of the world up on stage one at a time. We go pancake titties, moving on. Tiny nipple titties, moving on. You got one boob, two boob, red boob, blue boob.
It's just a slideshow of the different boobies.
I will remember you. I don't know why. That's just the perfect slideshow music.
Yeah, I mean, that could keep people's attention.
Yeah, I think so. I think there needs to be more bare titties at concerts. There just needs to be more nudity.
I think maybe like a couple of podcasters come up in between.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And do a podcast?
And do a podcast.
And everyone in the audience gets a gun and they get to shoot at the podcasters?
Yeah.
No, I think that's a great idea. I think we should start that.
Yeah.
Just if there's any bands out there that listen to Working Crass podcasts and they want us to come open for them,
Yeah.
we'd love to come out, give your audience guns, and have them shoot at us
Yeah.
while we try to do a podcast.
Yeah, we can vamp.
Anyone out there say the N-word? Oh, man.
We can barely keep our own audience entertained, let alone a touring
Some
musicians.
band.
Audience.
Yeah. It's like a
Yeah.
huge band. It's like the Rolling Stones.
Literally,
With Working Crass podcast.
yeah, and literally everybody in that like arena is like, I guess they give out anybody a podcast these days.
I guess anyone can have a podcast nowadays.
hmm
Anyway, well, what'd you learn today?
I learned that really, the 7 wonders of the world, should all have boob parodies.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I think it would be really funny if somebody asked like an AI art generator to generate the 7 wonders of the world,
But of boobs.
with boobs. 'Cause I would like to see that.
I'd love to see that. If anybody out there knows their AI technology, let's
Yeah.
make it happen. Let's see. I learned that we're not good enough to get shot at, but we have a podcast and we're in. Glenn, you know what he just did? You know what he just did? Our cat here.
Did he check the sound levels? Did he check the sound levels?
You know what this boy just did?
Did he check the sound levels?
Not just did he check the sound levels, he uses his mouth and goes over to your levels
turned it down?
and turned you down.
Well, that was a wise decision.
He goes, turn this bitch down. He goes, podcast over, feed me. Why are you swinging your tail around like that, weirdo? Are you horny? He humped my jacket earlier today.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, Glenn, are you horny? I thought he would talk.
He's getting bashful now.
He is getting bashful, but
He's
he is
getting-
horny.
He's horny, but he's bashful.
We got 2 cats up here now. Jesus Christ. Anyway, what did I learn today? I learned that we're not good enough to get shot at, even though we're a podcast in Chicago where everyone gets shot at. Just
Yeah.
it's part of like your daily life,
Yeah,
part of being a Chicago resident.
yeah.
So you want to get shot at? Move on down the line. Next. All right, no problem. We'll get you shot at. We'll get you your podcast in the next room over. Next.
Yeah. We're
Go
not-
on, register your podcast. We'll have a government employee shoot at you soon. You'll have people shooting at you at no time. No worries. Next. Anyway. Well, anything else?
Well, I guess we're not even good enough for our cat to keep the microphone levels at their rightful place. So
To be honest, he was just giving you a little more compression. He goes, her levels are just off.
that's nice.
He's a good mixer cat.
Yeah.
He actually is the reason why bands have to take 30 minutes between
Yeah.
acts, because every time it's just our cat Glenn back there using his mouth to turn the knobs
Yep.
to get ready for the next band. He's like, I'm hungry.
Yep.
Meow, meow, meow.
Oh my.
Anyway, all right. Thanks for listening. Go leave us some nice comments on things, and goodbye.
Bye.